Well, hello there. Wow. Good morning, afternoon. Today is January the 8th, 2021. If we can't say anything else, y'all, we can say that we made it, okay? 2020 was crazy. Absolutely crazy. 2020 was probably in history, well, in my personal history, just one of the most bizarre years that I think not only have I experienced in my personal life, but for the world. 2020 was absolutely just bonkers. And I am grateful, though, however, to have made it through 2020. And if you are viewing this today, then you should also be very grateful that you are alive, that you're breathing, that you're well, no matter your circumstance, no matter your situation, you here, and that is what matters. So if you have lost loved ones through dealing with coronavirus, or because of the coronavirus, my sympathies are out. They go out to you. My condolences. Definitely pray for your strength and your family's strength to get through those difficult times. Because I know that for a lot of families who did lose loved ones, more than likely they were not able to say their goodbyes, and that can be very detrimental, very hard for people to deal with. Especially when the anniversary time comes for around the time that person has passed. But otherwise, you guys, like, seriously, we made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. So, hey there, 2021. Okay. Let's be better than last year. Okay. Everybody just kind of wants to disown 2020. I'm sure if that was a child, then Lord knows that child would be shipped somewhere, you know, never to be seen ever again, never to be mentioned, all of that good stuff. But enough about 2020. Like I said, we're here, and that is what matters. So I just want to say, hey, thank you for joining me. This is your Friday Face session with me, Brianna. Again, I am a desmoid tumor survivor. You can look at my She Named It Trevor testimonial blog for further details on that. However, this channel is not made specifically for people who have survived desmoid tumors. This channel is for every and anybody who feels that they're in need of some form of encouragement. I for a long time didn't voluntarily share my story. Typically, if I were to talk about my testimony, if I were to share my story, it would be on the basis that, something came up in conversation that had to do with why I wouldn't eat this or why I can't do that. And then it kind of would lead into that, or someone would ask me, a question, and then I would go into it. And so, like, last year, I really felt led to just put my testimony out there because people are hurting in many different ways. People are hurting mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And not that there aren't already voices out there to help encourage people, but what's wrong with one more voice, And I never really was the type of person to be in the spotlight. I've never really was the type of person to be a front runner, come into a room and everybody knows my name and knows who I am. I've always been like a behind the scenes, quiet type person. So this for me is totally new territory. And I'm blessed to be in the position to do it, even with the minimal what I have. I mean, I'm blessed to do it with what I have. And I just really pray that someone is touched by it. So I also would like to remind you, if you have been staying up to date with my Friday Face sessions, that I would like for you, if you have a story or testimony that you feel comfortable with me sharing, to help me help encourage others. And you can do that by sharing your testimony or your story with me briefly in about a 1 to 1.5 page summary of what you made it through. You can email me at That's the number in word form, ONELBBDT@gmail.com. So that's 1LBBDT@gmail.com. The email is in the description box below. So if you would like to help me do that, I would definitely appreciate it, because I believe that there is the word of God for encouragement and faith building, but there's also testimonies from real live people that are present in this day and time that help really pull people out of the rut, or pull people out of a place of discouragement. And it's needed. It really is needed in the atmosphere that we're in. There's so much happening around us. There's so much happening. I can't watch the news hardly because of how depressing it is on a regular basis. And so I just really would like to help encourage people. I know the name of my channel is quite long. Live, Breathe, Beat, Desmond Tumor. It comes from the shirts that we made for the first Running for Answers race. So that's where the LBBDT comes from for the email, in case you were wondering. But anyway, so that's that. If you would like to do that, send me, and in the subject line of the email, you can just put testimony to share, or my story, what have you. And if you would like to be anonymous, that's fine too. I have no problem sharing your story anonymously if that's something that you would prefer. Forgive me for looking away right now. I forgot. I wanted to re-mention this again. I mentioned it once before, and I just wanted to come back and mention it again. If you are a reader, you enjoy reading books, and the time that we're in, where many of us are at home and maybe not having much to do outside of maybe working from home, and you need a little relaxing time, I would encourage you to go to Amazon.com and look for this book that my sister has authored, Switchblade Stories, a fictional novel based on true events told by Doris Pauline Jackson. That is my grandmother on my dad's side, and it's on Amazon. So definitely, I just want to give my sissy another little shout out there. Feel free to go to Amazon and look this book up and read it. It's good. It's about my granny. And those of you that do know the words of faith, please keep her in prayer. That's all I'll say about that. So I definitely just wanted to come on and say hello. I had a great holiday season. I hope you did as well. Christmas, like I said, I cooked all day long. But let's see. I don't even think I should go down the menu. We had about 11 items, I guess. We always do pretty good, like a pretty big cook for the main holidays, like for Easter, for Thanksgiving, and for Christmas. We do like a ginormous cook. I should say I do a ginormous cook. Trying to get people to help me is like pulling teeth, okay? I get complaints out of the wazoo from left and right. What? We gotta help you. Anyway, but so we had, oh my gosh, what did we have? We had hot wings and fish and turkey and stuffing and macaroni and cheese and collard greens and green beans and mashed potatoes and shrimp and I'm sure seafood salad and potato salad. And then for dessert, we had what do we have? Peach cobbler is a Christmas. I only ever make it for Christmas. And then we had brownies, and I made pumpkin bread, I think. So that was the Christmas menu. What was yours like? Small? Ours is always big. And then for New Year's, we just did a way simpler menu. We just had some ribs and some roasted red pepper chicken, some rice. Well, my special rice. So we had potatoes somehow, I think. Were they mashed again? I don't remember. It was last week. I remember Christmas better than. But anyway, and then I celebrated my birthday this past Tuesday. So a lot of family time, a lot of movie watching, a lot of eating. sweets and luscious deliciousness. So I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good holiday as well. So anyway, again, like I said, I feel like I'm rambling now. I'll wrap it up. I just wanted to come on and say that we're back in session for our Friday faith sessions. And if I were to leave you with anything, if I were to leave you with a thought for today, it would be to have expectation in 2021. And for me, trust me, that is something I am working on, because I think that I have anticipated and expected many, many things in the past. And whenever I felt like these things did not happen when I wanted them to happen, along came discouragement. And along with that discouragement, many times if I stayed in that area of discouragement, there would be also sadness, depression, and uh, everything else that you can think of that would tear your spirit down, tear your ambitions down, tear your dreams down. And I can't right now actually think of how I managed to climb out of that hole, but it is important that when you are expecting something, that you continue to expect that something. And that's one of the things that I am learning. As many of you may know, I had a recurrence of the tumor back in 2014. And ever since, I've been on all sorts of medications, on all sorts of chemotherapy treatments. I've had radiation. I've had the whole nine. And for the last coming up on 3 years now, since May of 2018, I haven't had to have any medication. Thanks be to God. And in that entire time, I have been expecting something to happen in my body that would annihilate and just rekindle the health that I once had. And I've yet to experience it. But I continue to expect it. Because if there is one thing I know about God, it is that He is a man of His word. And it hasn't always been easy for me to continue to expect to get from God what I am looking to get. But it has been a process, and it has been a learning process. And I encourage you in 2021 to exercise your expectancy. Exercise expectancy. And in every area of your life, what is something that you may be expecting for God to do? And then you have to ask yourself, what is it that I need to do to get from God what I expect? And that's the area in which I find that I lacked. Because there are certain disciplines that for me have been a struggle to maintain. And when those disciplines are not maintained, it defers the things that you are longing and waiting and anticipating and expecting. It defers them. And so one of the biggest goals for my personal self in 2021 is not only to continue maintaining my expectation of what it is that I'm believing God for, but to then practice the disciplines and put in the work that is necessary for me to do in order to get what it is that I expect. So I'm going to leave that there for today. We might dive in a little bit deeper on that next week. Like I said, I just wanted to come and say hello and definitely leave you with a little thought. I didn't want to leave you thoughtless. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Remember, keep your head up, stay strong, and everything is going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. In some way, everything is going to be all right. Okay, just hang in there. My dad had a saying. He had a saying on that he wrote down from, I don't know where he got it from. My dad gets stuff from everywhere. And it said, if you're only hanging on by a thread, make sure it's the hem of his garment. And that was a really good quote. So I'm going to leave you with that. Again, thanks for joining me. I will see you next week. Have a blessed weekend and enjoy 2021. Bye.